I've known I was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
Folks just love a good American family.
Anything but a good American family. Tyra, how are you today? Hello, everyone here. We're back to talk Good American Family, Season 1, Episode 7. Tyra, how are you today? Are you ready to dive into this episode? We saw Coot Nanny, we saw titties, we saw the journey, the evolution of the case. We saw all of that. How you feeling?
I just never asked for that, you know. I never wanted to see Christine like that a day in my life. I didn't low key want to see the actress like that. Like, girl, put that up. I don't I didn't request that. Yeah, I was here for it. Michael said, you know, don't pull out the nine, Jamal. I'm gonna keep it moist for you. You can wash her later.
He said, I'll keep her wet for you, buddy.
Wet.
Keep her wet for you, y'all. But y'all know what it is. We're here. We do this every single Thursday night. As long as this show is on, we will be talking all things Good American Family. I can't even call it the story of Natalya Grace because it's all their stories, Tyra. It's Michael Barnett's story. It's Christine Barnett's story. And it's a little bit of Natalya's story. But let's get on into it. You know, we are 7 episodes in now, Tyra, and I want to know from you, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
I'm tired. You know, I'm just tired. And I see your comments. No, I know this don't say poor Natalya Grace. It does. It says poor little Natalya Grace because she can't catch a break this episode, probably any episodes moving forward. Like, Lord, when she crumbled up the paper in the courtroom, I was like, oh, Natalya. Just all of the disregarding for us to even get here. The judges that weren't really judging, all the complacent doctors. It's just sad. You know, it's just sad. And it's just like, this is one of the stories that we know about. What about all the other ones that we don't? Like, leave her alone. I didn't realize like all of this just so she couldn't be adopted by another family and possibly go, well, hey, y'all mistreated the child. Like, lents were taken. It was sad.
Yeah. I am just so glad that we didn't stay where we were those first 4 episodes. I'm so glad they shifted the narrative and we got to see the other side of this thing. Because, I mean, for what it's worth, like I said, whether she had been an adult, which she was not, she was never an adult for anyone who still has, you know, reservations about this. It was proven that she was a child during the testing period, and Christine intentionally and willfully lied to the court and everybody else. Paige, she sent some of that coochie somewhere. Christine did something that caused them to overlook all of the medical records and basically abandon this 8-year-old to live in the hood on her own. And for whatever it's worth, whatever we actually eventually see from Natalya later on, because we know that she has a storied past, I feel as though all of her behaviors, her attitude, her personality is a direct response to all of the trauma that she's endured. So I'm glad we're finally getting to see this side of it, Tyra. Overall, as far as the tone of the episode, again, there's always an air of whimsy with it. There's always going to be laugh factor. It's so unserious, but while we're dealing with really serious subject matter, but this episode it was fine for me. It worked because we got here. We even got the people's elbow. You know, she was dropping blows on Natalia. We got all that, and we got some things we never even asked for. We never got or wanted to know about his love affair, how he
No,
hooked up with
I don't
Circuit
know
City
why.
Jane. We
Why we
never
needed that. We spent a whole lot of time with Michael, matter of fact, time I never needed.
never needed. But I want to shout out this actor who plays Michael because he did his big one this episode. I feel like this was the perfect embodiment of Michael Barnett. Even the screeching down the highway in whatever vehicle that was. It wasn't one of the sports cars, but it was something, you know. So the name of this episode was entitled If You Tell a Story Well Enough. And clearly Christine told the story well enough because we are starting talking to the detective and basically giving him a rundown from 2012. So we find out that Natalia Grace, the paperwork was filed, the court order was done while she was actually in LaRue Carter, which is an insane asylum. Well, a mental hospital in Indiana, where she originally was there as a child and once re-aged, put into the adult portion of the hospital. Now, if you watched the documentary, and since somebody has something to say funny in the chat last time, we will refer back to the documentary and real life events as
Who
we
said
discuss.
so? Shut up.
Child.
I'm sick of
Yeah.
you always got something to say about something.
Always something
Shut
to
up.
say.
Either
But
shut
we-
up or take your ass on out of here. Lord.
But we will refer to the doc. And so in the doc, and I was actually, I had talked to you about this. Like, I'm so glad they're not going into detail as far as showing us, because in the mental hospital, we discovered that there was some untoward behavior. There was a lot of accounts from the staff as it relates to who Natalya was and how they felt she operated as an adult. Tyra, talk to me about this scene, patty cake. We telling ghost stories. I'm with my bestie. And then I lost my bunny, my rabbit, my stuffed animal, and I can't sleep without my Thomas J can't see without his glasses, Tyra.
I'm not gonna play with you. I knew you was gonna say that. Thomas Shay, he needs his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. This heifer nurse, you could have at least went and got the bear. Like, girl, you could have went and got Hercules. Like, you give her that much. It's just really amazing how far this story has gone just based off. Well, I heard that they said that you weren't actually 8, 9, 10 years old. Yeah, we're gonna go and put you in here with these adults because you're 20 something. Look here, they'll lock you down. They'll strap you down. You better act right. Like, what? This is just crazy. I was glad it stopped here. I was like, oh Lord, can we please not have Natalia dancing on tabletops or being suggestive with some grown men? I really wouldn't want to see that here. We didn't. We got, just enough. But this was, a sad transition to have her in here with this little girl, and it's a good, friendly kitty time. And then we in here with Sling Blade strapped down to the bed. It was just very sad. I was like, don't leave her in there. At least he's strapped down. He was. She was gonna sit on the bed and he was gonna go.
Haters.
Oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. No, what I will give them kudos for in these last couple of episodes is that I think they've done a really good job of showing what it would be like to be a child put in these very adult situations. Even when she's here, no, please don't. Like, I can't sleep without my bear. And then you see this scary man. And when are we putting little girls or women in with men anyway? This was so bizarre and strange. But again, the disclaimer we got this episode is that this episode is from everyone's account. Some of everybody is sprinkled in this one. So now we're back talking to the detective, and honey, Mama Cynthia, Mama C, and Tally Boo are here. And Mama C wants to know, sir, you're doing all this, making her rehash all these painful memories. Do you have any children? No, I didn't think so. Well, if you did have children, you know we never want our babies to hurt. She can't do anything. She can't get surgeries. She can't get her money. She can't get surgery. We can't get her money. What are you going to do about it, Mr. Detective? And so then we kind of see, these are our options. They did this without her being present while she was in the insane asylum. I think we have a case. Now, Tyra, was it just me, or did detective give attorney during this? I was like, are you the attorney or are you the detective? I've never seen a detective go to these links.
I thank goodness the black man care, because anybody else care. She can't get her money. Ashley said that twice. Do know that we still trying to get the check, okay? We need the case to case so we can get paid. Yeah, this was I don't know. Was this, actual factual? Is this cop was he this active?
Well, so here's the thing. There was, and again, they went in, they say this is the woke version because the real sheriff was a white man, and he was tipped off by the adult learning center that she was going to. That's what sparked the investigation. But they do say he was like a dog with a bone. He would not let it go. I don't know how far it got with the family interviews and all that, but they said he wouldn't let it go.
Just when I was happy to see a brother. It's cool. It's cool because it's cool. But it was just nice that he didn't give up, because he was just like, what can I do? He was very, very invested even before we get later on to his adoptive situation. Like, I'm invested because an injustice is being had, and I'm gonna make sure something is done about it. If nobody else gives a damn, I give a damn. I was here.
I give a damn. And I was here for that. I like seeing a black man in this role, though, because I do like the empatheticness of it all. Like, he cares, beyond himself. He's out here. He sees an injustice, a wrong. What do they say on Scandal? He's putting on his white hat, his white cape, whatever they say, to solve the crime. But now we are in Canada, and there is trouble in paradise, Tyra. Christine is getting to her bag. Okay, she's big stuff. You can tell by the hair. She's got a fresh blowout, Tyra. All right.
Girl.
And it's Valentine's Day, and Michael is making heart pancakes. He wants some coochie. He tells her that he hasn't seen it. He hasn't sniffed it in a month of Sundays, and he wants it. But she's about to go to a trip. But before she can go on the trip, Tyra, they get something in the mail, a motion to correct the age. And he says, well, I can just handle it. Can you handle it for me, Michael? And then you'll get this loving. Mama will get to see Papa, and we'll get it popping. We even see a kiss here, which is one of the first kisses we've seen between them. But what do you think about this life in Canada? Michael playing Mr. Mom, and now we're starting to get motions from the Indiana court, excuse me, to correct Natalya's age.
I'm here for the motion. What I'm not here for is us spending 30 minutes of the episode letting us know that Michael is a lady in waiting. We don't care. We do not care. Like, girl, when you gonna give me some? I've been real patient. I've been doing everything. I've been watching these kids. Like, at this point, he's a little stay-at-home mom. Well, you're flourishing in your career. I got a new job to myself, T-Mobile. We're doing our thing. When am I gonna get some me time? Like, oh, we do not care. Even them damn kids don't even like Michael. They be like, oh, can you please go find something safe to do? They really means just over it. And where he thought that, like, oh, no, finally we're here, because Natalya is the full reason and the source as to why we haven't been a happy family. But now that we're all the way in Canada, you still ain't giving me none, and I'm being neglected. And now we have this motion. Well, all right, this is an opportunity for me to prove yet again that you should kiss the cook because I'm the man. I'm going to handle this for you, okay? I'm going to handle this. And yeah, we're not going to let this happen. We're just going to keep deny until years go by. I was like, oh my goodness. Sad.
Yeah.
Many trips to the box.
All the years go by until 2017, to be specific. So 3-4 years have gone by now, and he's every motion. They're saying, no, we're the guardians. No. So finally the mans and this detective, they get wise, and they say, okay, bet you don't want to change her age. Make us her new guardians. We'll take on full responsibility for Natalya. You don't have to worry about it. Michael's elated. Instantly, I'll keep her wet for you, hairdresser, who I believe she was probably screwing him too. But I'll handle this. I think it'll be great. We don't have to worry about it. And of course, in true Christine fashion, she says, listen, Michael, are you that dumb? You don't see what this is? If they get to be guardianship, they can allow her to change her age, and then we'll be, our butts will be nailed to the floor. And so now he's like, oh, you're right. So Michael, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to Indiana, and you're going to have to deal with this. I'll call Val. I know she knows some great attorneys, and you're going to have to handle this. I think this was actually genius on the part of the man's, in an effort to get her re-aged. But of course, we know the devil's faster, right? Christine was faster and on her toes. And Christine, you know, not for nothing, the lady was savvy in all of the wrong ways. Tyra, talk to me about this new idea. And did you agree with Michael? Like, hey, this is good. Like, give them Natalia. They can deal with her now.
You're savvy, but only so far. It's nowhere in hell I would have entrusted this to Michael. Okay, yeah, I'm not trusting Michael with a thing. Of course, we're expecting him to just do it because I said so, and he follows her to no end. Even in this kitchen, you know, don't worry about the blowout. You're gonna blow her dry. We'll keep her wet for you, pal. Get out of this kitchen. Let me talk to my wife. Like, yeah, he's just they always let us know that Michael is a little delayed. They're never gonna, miss that. Like, how do you see this as a good thing? And we should just sign her over. Do you know what this means? Like, yeah, if you thought that much of it, why would you leave him to be solely responsible for it? Like, but she's all wrapped up. She said, I'm a celebrity. Do you see the material? Okay, I have things to do and people to see. Handle this. Like, you handle all the little non-inconvenient little things, and I'm gonna be paying these bills. But yeah, I wouldn't have entrusted none of this to Michael.
None of it. I wouldn't trust a dog to Michael, to be quite honest with you. He's special. So now we get to Indy. He drives in Indy, said he feels invigorated. He's a new man. If you were a donut, Tyra, what kind of donut would you be?
I would be one with sprinkles. It would be pink.
I was like, Michael, you cannot be serious right now. He's meeting with the attorney. Now, this, I thought they got spot on. This actor, I think, fully embodied one of the main attorneys that we see in real life that worked on Michael's cases. And I thought it was interesting. He's like, all right, is this all you got? Because he basically goes there with no paperwork, with no documentation, nothing. And the lawyer's like, well, what do you want from me? He explains what's happening. And he's like, okay, well, we need the information. And he says, okay, well, Christine's home, but she's not tech savvy. So Michael calls her on the phone and says, hey, I need all of Natalia's documents. I need you to put them in a share drive and share them with me, and we'll be able to do that. And so immediately, without even looking through all of the documents, Michael proceeds to hand his phone over to said attorney. And the attorney's like, well, less can be more sometimes. And as he's scrolling, he keeps scrolling a little bit, and we see Titties and Pootananny, Poonanny, in other words, all of his wife, right? And Michael immediately in the moment, these aren't for me. Tyra, best lawyer in Indy and titties. Talk to me about
I don't care if they weren't for you. What you're not gonna do is bring your big ass in here and vomit on my table, Michael. That's what you're not gonna do. Okay, that man was very calm. It's okay. Let's regroup. It's fine. Like, it's cool. It's like, yeah, I guess you're not gonna be in the doghouse too much longer. I saw those milk sacks. Ma'am, never needed to see Christine. There was nothing attractive about those photos. But yeah, those aren't for me. Have to be with somebody else. But it must be that hairdresser. This is just slowly we're opening up the box, and Michael is realizing his worth. I don't have to take this. I've done everything you ever told me to do. Like, yeah, the fact that he was just that sick to his stomach that he vomited here was insane. But this was like, yeah, the textbook mistake. You accidentally sent some photos to Michael. Girl, no.
Michael. And so y'all, in real life, Christine had a little person on deck. She had multiple men on deck that she was sending these and sexting pictures to. Michael claims in the real life documentary that she SA'd him by refusing to give him the smecks. Okay, that's what he said. He said he was abused by Christine, sexually abused by Christine, because she refused to give that cootananny to him and was giving it to everybody else, even the little people. Tyra, that's what they.
We were all abused.
We were all abused. That's what he said. I can't. But yes, definitely giving floozy. Definitely giving bad glamour shots. I hate that she ever even took that selfie. And so now Michael has to come to terms with what it is. Tyra, he's going through the pictures and he's like, you know what? I'm going to call her. I'm going to just call her. No, I can't call her. Because at the end of the day, he's nothing if not a weak-willed man. All right. And so what he eventually does is likes one of the pictures, sends a thumbs up. Right? Getting her attention, knowing it's going to elicit a call back, and then doesn't want to answer the phone. Why? Because he's outside working for his Circuit City reunited and it feels so good moment, right? He finally answers the phone. And he's like, your tits were all over, Christine. It wasn't for me. Who was it for? Well, Michael, it was for you. I was just so proud of all of the work that you've done in this. And I just wanted to show you some appreciation. Christine, you're lying. Well, Michael, what are you trying to say, Michael? What are you accusing me of? Christine, why are we even playing this game? You don't like me. Why are we even trying this? Well, all right, Christine, I've got to go meet with my Circuit City people. Tyra, talk to me about his breakdown, his emotional breakdown.
Oh, Michael said it's that witch who keeps your books, isn't it? And you picked tonight to flaunt your whore in front of all your friends and your business partners. Oh, this was funny. This was funny because he was so like, oh, I'm devastated. He was so sad. He was so sad.
For what? She treated you like trash, Michael.
But he was, biding time because eventually I'm going to get some from Christine because, that's also important. I mean, she's going to give me some. I've been doing everything she told me to do. Like, why would she cheat on me? Like, I do everything. I'm a little flunky. I do whatever she tells me to do. Child, this Circuit City gathering was fun. I say, how much, backing around Circuit City for y'all to be having annual get-togethers? Like, get the hell, Michael. But you even see that he comes back here. He's just really invested trying to have some grips of like what maybe his former life was, but also having that discontent for whatever I thought it was formerly with Christine. It's definitely not that. She doesn't want me. She's cheating. It's probably with the hairdresser. But here's old Circuit City Bay. I was like, why are we staying here for so long? Like, I never thought, hey, I wonder how Michael got together with his new wife. Like, what? We don't care. I don't know why we're so here, but I guess this is a callback to her just being overly invested and sensitive to Michael in the beginning, and it's okay. Like, you're a good man. You're a good man, Savannah. It's okay. I like this, my girl. She was, what did we say, full court press? It was full court press. It was all of that and then some over Michael. Say, girl, stand up. But if she likes it, I love it. I don't know who the hell would look at Michael as something to want to, you know what, I want a piece of that. Nobody
at all. Circuit City party of two. He went in there thinking this was going to be his whole old team. And only this one showed up. Michael, can I make a confession? I always hated Christine. I never liked her. Oh, that makes two of us. Let's kiss. Let's make out at the bar. It's so romantical, just like a match made in Circuit City heaven. Yeah.
Circuit City heaven.
Never needed that. So now let's get to the important matters. Between the kissing and the breakups and all that, the one thing that Michael and Christine are united on is the fact that Natalya can't win. She can't be loved. She can't get a chance to be the right age. Even though they know she's a child, they can't let it go. And so now we have the probate hearing with this raggedy ass judge who should be disbarred or whatever it is, removed from the bench. Because I don't know how you don't hear any other side and just continue on with the existing order. It makes no sense to me. So, of course, the family doctor comes in that Christine conned, who basically just signed off on whatever, stating that she was 22. This was the official word that got the age changed to 22. And he says, she'd been having a menstrual cycle for years. I was her family doctor the entire time. She was in the custody of the Barnetts, just up here telling bold-faced lies on the stand. And then we get Michael. We're determined and committed to staying Natalya's guardians so she cannot cause harm to ne'er another family in the universe. Meanwhile, Tally Boo has written out a speech about how she was made to pretend to be an adult and it was such a hard life, and she's now ready to live in her truth. Tyra, tell me about this farce of a hearing. I thought this was the worst thing ever.
It didn't make sense in the doc, and it does not make sense here. Like, this was crazy. This was the main time where I was like, who does Christine know? Did Christine send some of them photos to this judge? Like, the people want to know what's really going on. What is the connection for this trial to be so one-sided? Not even a trial. If the way Michael came in slow motion, like he was going to celebrity court, it's like, yeah, everything was already stacked against her. Like, I have nothing to worry about. I'm very comfortable. I just came here, for showing proof. Like, yeah, I didn't have to, but I'm here to let you know that we are a united front. And yeah, we would never put Natalya off on somebody else. So she can ruin somebody else's life, push somebody else's wife into an electric fence. No, definitely not on my watch. Keep her exactly where she is and how old she is. Now that doctor, everybody needs to be just disbarred. Everybody just needs to go away from me with this Apollo, because you gotta pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody was laying low and spreading. And why people are jeopardizing whole jobs that are not easy to come by, a judge and a doctor. Also, we can stick and stand by Christine and them, because they can give a damn about Michael. It's always been about Christine. Like, who does she know? Who did she pay? And you have them tell you when she waved at Mike when he came, like, hi. It's like, girl, I never liked you. Like, don't wave at me. All of that, and we got the cops sitting there in whole disbelief. Like, I can't believe. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see what's happening in here? Y'all not gonna hear her out? Like, and then once he finally lets her approach the bench, like, oh yeah, whatever. You don't need to sit down. Heard everything I needed to say. Yeah. Matter of fact, before you say anything, this is what it is. I don't see how the outcome would change, whether we adjust at your age or not. Yeah, I hear you out though. You got anything you want to say? She's like, oh, I got a joke about a roller coaster. Like, oh, Natalia, girl. They won't let her get a word in edgewise. And she's just, you know what? No, I don't have anything else to say. Never mind. It's like, oh, hell. Just
Crushed. Crushed her hearts and her little heart down. Like, she was up at the table late. And I just had to throw this in for good measure, because it was a travesty. You could have heard that baby out. You could have.
I'm sorry. Because it's so dramatized and so goofy. Like, the way Michael walked in there, the music that plays, like, even the score here, she's like, I have a joke about a roller coaster. Really? We're gonna be so unserious.
It was so bad. It really was.
But it's funny as it is. It's still poor Natalia, because this was very, very unfair.
It was. No, by any stretch of the imagination, like, you go to court so that both sides can be heard and a ruling can be made based on the evidence, and the fact that they wouldn't consider the new medical records, they wouldn't listen to anyone else's testimony other than the doctor or Michael's. It was definitely one-sided and a miscarriage of justice, a complete travesty. And I just had to throw this in there, because lay hands on me too. I would have needed prayer in this moment. I don't care. This was awful. This was poor baby. It was sad. So now the detective's like, I've spent some time home. We adopted. I've been at home with my baby, and I can't imagine treating my baby like, these people treated Natalia. So now I need to figure out how I can get to the bottom of it. So he goes and he meets with the first doctor. You lied, doc. Well, no. Am I implicated in any way? Tyra, am I implicated now?
Be for real. Like, when he even said that, like, well, I don't know why these people would jeopardize unless she was paying them out. But even with this doctor, this was way before, Christine was the Christine. Like, that type of money wasn't even coming in yet. Like, you just did this on GP. What the hell did she put on y'all? Some coochie? I don't understand. I don't understand. You talking about, am I implicated? You could go to prison. Jail time. But just like, well, I may have, lied. I embellished a bit. I wasn't there. Am I implicated? Can I look? Duh, doc. Like, yeah, this is your man. These are the physicians that we're trusting with our children. Yeah, get on up out of here. I was just here for the black officer, just being relentless. Like, I'm going. I don't care. You saw years go by. He has the baby and it's small, and then she's getting older, and he's steady going through foul. Like, even Italian people say, you know what? We didn't want to do this again. This was devastating. Just drop it all. We just gonna continue as is, whether we get to adopt her or not. And he's like, no, we got to do something about this.
She needs justice. She deserves justice. And now that I have my own baby, I know. The case in this weird district attorney, y'all, this DA pissed me off so bad, because he done went out to the field, talked to not only the original doc, talked to other doctors who basically corroborated the story, which was no. And when I found out they were going to court to re-age her, I sent word to the court. I sent documentation here, there, everywhere to the original doctor that was handling everything. And he says, you do know it happened. What? it happened, but I sent all of this information. So doctors even unaware that their medical indications were not even taken into consideration. We hear from one specialist that said, with dwarfism, puberty is different. It's not far-fetched that, there were pubal situations, but ahead of schedule. And then we go to the DA who has to take the case to court. And she's like, I basically need a slam dunk. And he's like, listen, I've got all these corroborated statements from the doctors proving they knew, the Barnetts knew. Well, you got to get a confession from the Barnetts. Tyra, what did you think about this DA? And of course, these other doctors having no idea that she'd been re-aged after them telling Christine and Michael, no, she is literally a child.
Girl, that unconcerned, uncaring DA was very problematic. Like, girl, it's just very like, yeah, am I going to be able to win? I need more. Like, what am I going to get out of this? Like, there's no regard at all for Natalia or just the injustice. Like, I'm into winning cases, and I don't feel like we have enough. Like, I need them to admit that they lied. Like, in what world and scenario does that actually happen? Unless you have a dummy like Michael, who does that? You would have never done anything if that's the case. All of this that went untracked, that just goes to show way back when, like, everything was weird. She was just obsessed with the age and aging her in this, and none of us told her that it was justified to do that. And we were against it. Nobody double checked or did any due diligence with anything. It was just like, well, if White T Christine said it, girl, you're 22. Trash.
Yeah. She said it, we're gonna go with it, and that's it, and also I think this went into, of course, the willful fraud of it all, right? Because Christine got that paperwork back and read it, and she just kept going to different doctors until she could get a different answer or get her main doctor to basically just lie. So it didn't matter what any of them said, honestly. So now, of course, the DA said we got to get a confession. So Michael's easy. Michael is easy. Christina manipulated him his whole married life. Now it was no problem for the detective to come in and say, oh, she's not giving you your kids. Well, if you confess, I mean, this will go great for your custody hearing. Like, she's making all these wild accusations around you. Tell us what Christine did. And this is where we get, well, Natalia's better off out of Christine's care because Christine used to beat her. What? Yeah. Well, Michael, at the end of the day, did you know she was a child? Well, yeah, but, what's that got to do with me? Could he really be this inept and this dumb, Tyra? Like, who is this dumb?
Michael said, she said, bam, 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 bam. How old are you? Bam, bam. Like, what is wrong? Oh, he was just really in there. Like, oh, God, the things she did to her. Oh, my God, it was terrible. Yeah, I was just.
And you watched.
What she said. I was just doing what she told me to do. But oh gosh, she was awful. She's this terrible mother. This, that, like, yeah. Child, if it wasn't for Michael, we probably wouldn't have gotten this far. So kudos to Michael for just purging. He's on my, what? That's the brother there. He gets me. He's on my side. Like, I just, oh yeah, like, not even, like, you're implicated, Michael. You were an accessory in this crime. You lied with her. Even if you didn't touch Natalya or beat her, you were complacent in it. You knew about it and did nothing. You're going to get locked up too, Michael. You got to be in defense also. What? No. He's my friend.
No, he's my buddy. No, he's my buddy. He would never do that. He's going to get Christine, though. He's going to nail her to the wall, and I'm going to get custody of all of my sons. Really? Really? It's just and that's what gets me, because he is so bleak, like, just so blissfully unaware all of the time. It would be easy to try to give Michael a pass, but he gets no passes. He is, in my opinion, even worse because he stood aside and watched her abuse Natalya. He went along with this scam knowing Natalya was a child the whole time. He's just as bad, if not worse, in my mind. She may be the mastermind, but he was definitely the willing participant in all of this. And so now we see them back at home after he's given his statement, and his new wife is like, what? Say what now? Like, what happened? You told that man everything? Well, yeah, he's going to help me. He's my buddy. He's my bud. He's my pal. And, Natalya was a kid. And she's like, what? Yeah, Natalya was a kid. But Michael, you told me She was grown. Tyra, how did he forget his lies? And what do you think the new wife is thinking at this moment?
Clearly she's
And why
not
did this
thinking straight. Like, I would have definitely, I wouldn't trust Michael around me, my current children. Like, you were complacent, and it was different when you said she was grown and a manipulator in this, but now you're telling me that you lied and you just allowed a child to be abused, neglected, and abandoned. Yeah, what the hell? What husband? What stepdaddy? I would get as far as away from Michael as possible. Absolutely not. Yeah, I think she was thinking like you big dummy. Now we got some other mess to deal with. Like, you really think that you wouldn't be implicated for being a part of that? No, I know. Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. It says more about her character than Michael's, because you was all up in the bar with the full court press. You was full court pressing way back in them Circuit City days. Like, this is your man. This is your man.
That's what she said.
Thursdays.
Yeah, it's disgusting because I mean, in this moment, you see this full awareness come across her face, but as we see in the doc, they were still together. So apparently, it didn't matter too much to her. And I would say this: what he's done before, he would be willing to do again. It's only to me a matter of time and opportunity because he's terrible. So now that they have been indicted. Apparently, they're facing up to 75 years combined, Tyra. And even though they're divorced, Michael's remarried, Christine is out living her best life. We need to present a united front. And I thought this was really petty and gross. The lawyer says, Natalia's small, so she's already a spectacle. So they're already going to be looking at her sideways. All we need to do is go on a press tour and just sow some seeds of doubt, but you got to do this together. And then we have new wifey, like, united, but they're divorced. Yeah, but he's still the father of my children. I haven't let him see his kids, but he chose you over me. So, I talk to Michael every single day. We text every day, Tyra. We text every day. And so now it's time to go on this campaign of interviews and let the world know that Natalya was a villain, Tyra. What did you think about this strategy? And I mean, we're divorced, but we still have to present this united front, not merge the cases, but we're going to do this. Otherwise, we're facing 75 years.
It just goes to show, at least the public or even just normal news, like, a lot of people don't do any homework. You just take what you see for face value. And if in the public eye and on the news and in these interviews they are sitting here as a united front, I'm sure a lot of people still thought that they were married. It's like, okay, well, that I'm gonna stick beside him. We're together. That, strategic move. Shot him saying, Natalya's already a little funny looking. We already got, some leverage on our side, because who's gonna believe her? She already look a little aged anyway. She's a little funny. Like, oh, okay, yeah. That lawyer here and in the doc was doing whatever he needed to do. He was lawyering up. And you get to still see that Christine, all these years later, she still has them grips into Michael. He can't even stand on big business. Like, you're sitting here with your wife. Like, yeah, why would you want to work with her? She who kept you down and abused you for years? Is that what you said about me? I mean, not really. I didn't word it like that. Like, Michael, stand up. Like, he's still in fear. I'm sure even back then, she was still sending little bogus stuff. So, like, yeah, we talk all the time. Like, girl, Christine, who are you? Ew.
She's a super villain. She's the worst of the worst of the worst.
Girl, ew. Like, nobody I don't know. Some white tea will get you a long way, because Christine is just not giving. But yeah, they're banding together. It's just like, just like always, Michael makes a mess, and now I gotta clean it up. Like,
do you want our kids to be without us for 75 years, Michael? What are they going to do without us for 75 years? This is what we have to do. And rounding it all out, time to tell my story, Natalya. You're on Dr. Phil now. And I believe you can find this Dr. Phil episode on YouTube. But now it's time to tell my story. Natalya, why? Are you really the murderous munchkin? Or were you an 8-year-old child the whole time? Well, Dr. Phil, it's finally time for me to tell my story. They're all telling the story. It's time to tell mine. And we see her in her good Sunday blouse, Tyra, with her new pants. and she is ready to talk. Dr. Phil, for better or worse, at the end of the day, it's all exploitation, but it was a platform to get the story out, which probably is what led to the curious case of Natalia Grace's parts 1, 2, and 3. So what did you think about her finally mobilizing and getting the story out? Do you think it helped her case or hurt it? Because we both know what the result is.
I said, oh, they found them little matronly, ugly blouses that they really had Natalia in. Like, I hated it all. This Christian mingle blouse on her. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. It was the smirk in the little wink into the camera. I say, I'm not about to play with y'all. Can y'all just not? Can we just move forward in the story? It was like, yeah, Natalia, so are you? And it's just kind of playing on our top, just like that doc did. Like, are you a little girl or are you a grown adult? Like, which is it, Natalia? The public wants to know. Just like, well, since I got you all here, move. Oh, okay, here we go. She might as well like run off like the little leprechaun, like just like what? It's just funny. It's just always funny. Like they have to always do a little smirk and tickle and villainy thing with her every single time because we can't just be straight with it.
I don't know why. Darlena says it too. Natalia's always smirking like a damn villain. I want to understand the choice to have her character doing that every time someone falls for her story. It's like, ooh, got him.
They do. It's always like, if we're shifting the narrative or whatever we're supposed to be doing, I don't think they want to really shift everything. They just want to have us just as decisive as everybody was after watching all of that doc. Like, well, was she? Like, well, is she? Like, what you're not gonna do is confuse me again. I move forward.
We've gotten past this. We know the truth, right? TNT Bandit, thank you so much for this $2 super chat for the good Sunday blouse. Listen.
Girl, Christian mingle ass blouses. I hate them blouses.
For the good son. And this is the look she gave at that last shot, because they always gonna have her giving a look, honey. That is par for the course with this show, y'all. But again, this was episode 7 of The Good American Family. As we get closer to the end, and I think we have a total of 10 episodes, so we actually have 3 more episodes to get through. So apparently they're gonna go into documentary territory, it looks like, towards the end, probably. Are you ready for what's coming next?
No, I'm tired. Like, I want this to be the last of the last as far as the Natalia stories are concerned. Like, let it rest, lay it to rest, and just leave it alone. Are we going to go all the way to, Natalia tweaking and her being with the other family? Are we going over there too?
I don't
What
know.
else are y'all going to do for these 3 episodes? Because we know how that trial went. It's not a whole lot to dig into there.
Yeah, because honestly, and this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to know what happened in real life, go on and you can exit stage left now. But we know that Michael gets off and Christine's charges are dismissed. He actually stands trial, but Christine never even has to stand trial for any of the crimes, not for the child abuse, not for neglect, not for abandonment, nothing. So, there's that. But yeah, that was the episode. It wasn't much. They lingered on some very unimportant things, in my opinion. I think just to stretch out the season, I think they wanted to give a full round, 10 episodes, I guess. But Tyra,
Yes.
this weekend is my choice for Blockbuster movie night. And I made the choice of choices. I'm going to run that for you guys. Consider a membership to the Struggle or to the Sweet Peas. And we'll be right back after these messages. We are watching Hook. I could not be more elated. Tyra, how do you feel about that selection? Are you ready to dive into Hook and Rufio? I can't wait.
I wasn't gonna say that. I'm just gonna let you bask in your happiness, okay? I mean, look here. You already know what I said. I'm going over there with Robin Williams and some kids. I'm going over there to Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm going over there to Jumanji. I never went over there to Hook and Peter Pan and them. Just Peter over there with them boys being old. It just wasn't my story. Tinkerbell and being kept in a little jar and stuff with all her ass. I don't know. I just wasn't over there. I just wasn't. I look forward to giving it an opportunity and a chance because, like I said, it's not my preference of film, but hey, maybe it's amazing and I'm gonna, love it. Let's just hope for the latter.
And is. But tonight, you guys, since there's been conversation around Sinners and around From Dusk Till Dawn, was it a stolen concept? Was it, are they exactly the same? Is it copy and paste? We are going to be having a watch along not long after it. Okay. Not long after this live tonight. What is it? Just not too long. So stay tuned. We'll be watching From Dusk Till Dawn, and we will be doing a comparison of Sinners and that to see, if what some people are saying is true. But you guys, that's it for Natalia. Darfelina, don't do it.
Y'all better leave Ashley alone in this chat now. We're having a peaceful night.
You're supposed to be on my side, Darfelina.
We're gonna all show up for Ashley's movie, and we're gonna watch it, guys. We're gonna give it a chance, okay? Be nice, y'all.
Please. Thank you. Dane, I ain't ask you. I did not ask you, Dane.
I ain't ask you.
I ain't ask you. Rufio, that part, TNT. See, and homeboy really lost his marbles and did. We're going to get into it. It's going to be fun. Tyra, anything else you want to let the people know about before we get out of here until the next live?
Nothing. Just meet us in the next 30 minutes or so for Dusk Till Dawn. I'm sure that it will be open in the Watch and Chill room in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, I suggest you get over there and join us.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time, and we will leave you with Natalya Nim, and we will see y'all in just a couple minutes.
I always considered myself
you,
blessed. I've known I was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.